Okay, so I hope you've seen my piece on special relativity. The thing about relativity is that the twins paradox has no answer, and that disqualifies the theory. I called it Einstein's trick, and I really do wonder if he knew what he was doing, if he consciously set out to fool the scientific community because they were desperate for an answer to the problem of the propagation of light. They couldn't detect an ether. And I wrote this little book many years ago. Beautiful little book. If you can see, little diagrams, beautiful little diagrams and everything. And it's science fiction. It's science fiction. Yeah, I'm a skeptic. I'm reasonably intelligent, and I've got a bit of common sense, and I'm skeptical about stuff. And I want to say thanks to my mum and dad for that, because I inherited it, you know. Yeah, it was the best time of my life when I got to the bottom of this and understood. Yeah. And the scientific, you know, physics and cosmology, astronomy, and it's a constant source of entertainment for me. I love it. You know, scientists, not everybody accepted special relativity to start with, and just gradually the naysayers became a minority, and it was accepted. Because special relativity with clocks running at different rates, it's so attractive. It solved the problem, and the maths worked. There were the equations. It must be right. Strange concepts. And of course, there's the attraction of belonging to an exclusive club of an elite, I suppose. I think that's how they think of it. They are exceptional in that they have the flexibility of intellect to allows them to accept these strange new concepts which ordinary people don't get. Well, I'm ordinary people. So I want to look at, today I want to look at the Big Bang. Because it's quite a good example of this phenomenon of strange concepts which seem to defy common sense. And it shows the dichotomy between those who can accept all these weird concepts and those like me who have just got a common sense idea of time and space and the real world, I suppose. So you're going to have to decide on what side you come down on. The Big Bang. So it's proposed that before our universe came into existence, there was nothing. There was no space, no time, nothing. And then from an infinitesimally small point, the universe expanded. Now the evidence that they have for this is basically the phenomenon of red shift of light, which is arriving, which is getting back to us from distant galaxies, and redshift is the stretching of the wavelength of light, and it occurs when there is relative motion. So it's assumed that distant galaxies are moving away from us at high speed, and the wavelength of the light is stretched towards the red end of the spectrum, red shift. Okay. Now this red shift is equal in all directions, so it's as if we are at the center of this expansion. So are we at the center of, are we still at the origin that everything is moving away from? Well, that's highly unlikely, isn't it? So presumably we, in the Milky Way, our galaxy, we are moving away from the centre of expansion also. Now I cannot imagine how the redshift is equal in all directions. I cannot imagine how that could be. How, if we are moving away from the centre of expansion, our motion relative to other galaxies must mean that the redshift should be different in different directions. It's almost too facile a thing to talk about, but I've drawn a diagram. And I hope you can see this okay. So here we have the Milky Way. That's us. The circle connects galaxies that are equidistant from us. So we have Galaxy A and Galaxy B. I think you can see, I don't think I'd need to explain it really, but you can see the direction of motion away from the origin of the Big Bang, the centre of the expansion. So how can the redshift from Galaxy A be the same as the redshift from Galaxy B? The expansion is, they believe that the universe is expanding with an acceleration, because the further away the galaxy, the greater the redshift, and the increase in that rate of the velocity of the redshift increases. So there is an acceleration in that direction. So I think it's clear from the diagram. Well, it is to me. Now, all the accounts I've read of the Big Bang, the expansion is described in sort of woolly terms as everything is moving away from everything else. Or imagine a loaf of bread cooking in the oven, how it expands. Well, no, not really. No, I don't get it. I don't get it. Where are we? I mean, the expansion must be from a central point. It must be spherical, surely, as I've got in my diagram. Now, I suppose an astronomer, any scientist in this field who might happen to see this, which is unlikely, will be having a good laugh at this now. But I would like to see their explanation. I would like them to address this. Simple as that. Simple as that. Phrases like everything's expanding away from everything. That's not enough for me. So that's the Big Bang. There isn't a Big Bang. There isn't a Big Bang. We are at the centre of something. What I think it is it's simply the old tired light theory. In other words, light from distant stars, galaxies, loses energy on its journey to us. And moves to the red end of the shift of the spectrum. And that is the cause of the red shift. I would really like somebody to, it'd be great if somebody just took all the literature. I mean, they're getting data from these telescopes now. They must be able to calculate that redshift from very, very distant galaxies. They're discovering more and more distant, very distant galaxies. Just try the tired light theory and see if it fits what we're seeing now. Okay, that's the Big Bang. So there's no need for dark energy, another sort of mysterious thing that they've had to propose to explain the increasing acceleration of galaxies a long way away. They've had to, and it's just unlikely. It's unlikely to me. Dark matter. Dark matter. I'm having trouble with that, but it's wrong. Anyway, I'll save that for another one. And back to relativity. I want to show you because Einstein had an answer to the twins paradox. And it's another trick. It's another trick. I wonder if I really wonder if he knew. Well, if he, yeah, Was he the biggest con man of all time? Anyway, see what you think. I'll see you later.